Today we are going to continue our lecture in the sequential circuits fundamental components or elements. We have started already about the latch design, right? How the latch will be constructed, how the latch works, what are the types of latch, SR latch, D latch, T latch, JK latch, and the bustles associated to JK claims, right? Nobody searched in the internet other than Chandrasekhar. He only did something, right? Others also thought a checker, you will enjoy. So many claims are there. Vector claim also is there. So you will enjoy how the claims are happening for this JK. Okay, that is fine. So these latches are the basic components for the sequential circuit design. Then we slightly moved further into controlled latches. Because if you leave your latch alone, then whenever your other friend circuits generates some output, then immediately there will be a change in the output of the latch. So in order to control it by some level, we go for enable control, that also we connected, right? Connected into the latch, so that now the latch is the controlled latch. Controlled latch in the sense you can decide its operation time. It has to work from this time to this time, right? So therefore, now the latch becomes something like this. This is the SR latch. All of you show me your face. SR latch. SR, right? SR, and then there is enable pin. SR latch, then there is a Q and there is the Q bar. There is a Q and there is Q bar, right? That means this box, now we draw this box here to indicate the SR latch, means it consists of all these components. If you open it inside, there are 2 NOR gates, 2 AND gate, right? So all these components are inside. We assume it is inside, means it is inside actually. In order to draw the circuit all the time, we go for the block diagram representation. So S is the input, R is the input. Now we incorporated one additional input called enable, right? So we have seen yesterday, enable is whenever enable is 1, then only these 2 inputs will go into the subsequent section of the internal circuits. In case if this is a 0, nothing will go inside. That means 0, 0 only will go inside. 0, 0 means no change, that we have seen. It will not affect the current output of Q and Q bar, right? So the advantage of this configuration is your R and S can be changed at any instant of time, but that will not reflect the output. That will not reflect the output, right? If you allow it to directly propagate into your internal circuits, then output also will be accordingly changed. That means it is not in your control. It is not in your control, right? But by choosing these two value, you can attain a different condition here, maybe retaining the previous output or changing 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, right? In future, it complement also is possible by these simple circuits. That is why we go for this kind of configuration, right? This kind of configuration. Fine. These things we have seen now. Now we will move into one more latch, right? One more latch, then we will understand how this guy is called a memory. That is the D latch. Second latch is the D latch. Right. Slightly I am modifying the same SR latch to function as the D latch. Right. One thing you should understand, all of you, this is not only the circuit for SR latch. SR latch can be constructed by so many other components. Instead of NOR gate, you can use a NAND gate, right? So there are so many configurations to make the SR latches. So this is not only the circuit for SR latch, but all the circuits should perform this operation. Then it is called a SR latch, right? The character wise, the circuit should be similar to this table. Then only it is called a SR latch. In the same way, there are different characteristics equation for all the latches, right? So one should need to choose the required flip-flop in order to meet their application. Either this SR will meet or JK will meet or T will meet or D will meet. That is up to the designer, right? So there are so many ways. If you Google it, you will find it, or you can refer some textbooks. There are several methods to construct the SR latch. In the same way, all the latches, and the same way, all the flip-flops. Right? There is no any constraints for designing. D latch. We just slightly we will modify the same SR latch with control. Q bar. This is nothing but SR latch. Sorry, D latch. If you take your commercial IC, this is the T latch, controlled T latch. Controlled T latch, because there is enable. This is enable, and this is our D in or D, data input, and this is our output now, right? So this box now, this is the controlled D latch. All these circuits are inside. So slightly we changed the wiring, that's all. That means this input is connected to D in, and the D in is connected to AND gate of first input through one inverter. That's all, through one inverter, right? Now, how this latch works, we will analyze how this latch works, right? Because it should meet the characteristics table of our behavior of the D flip-flop, D latch, right? D is nothing but delay latch. We have seen set, reset, like this. This is a delay latch. So now you listen here. Suppose the D in is here. If the D in is 0, I'm maintaining D in is 0. Enable is not applied. Assume enable is not applied. Therefore, the 0 will come here, right? The 0 will come here. Understand? And then this 0 will go here. And then this inverter will complement it so that 1 will go inside. So 1 is right now available here. 0 is right now available here. Right? 1 is the one input of the AND gate. 0 is the another input of the AND gate. But now the enable is 0. Right? Because enable is a logical level trigger. Level trigger means we only made the circuit to respond for its level because of putting the AND gate. Right? That is our design only now. So when the enable is 0, or as long as enable is 0, this input is 0, this input is 0, therefore here 0, here 0. 0, 0 means we know no change, the Q will be maintained in its same value, right, whatever was the value. So over the time, because now time is running, right, over the time, it maintains its value, it maintains the complement of this value. Now, suppose I'm making enable equal to 1 now, enable equal to 1, then 1 will come here, 1 will come here. Therefore, 1 into 0, this becomes a 0, right? This becomes a 0, and 1 into 1, 1 will come here. So suddenly, this circuit changes the transition in its inputs. That means 1 is here, 0 is here. 1 here, 0 here means circuit will go to the reset state. Therefore, this fellow, the Q becomes a 0 now. Q becomes a 0 now. So the idea is, we can say it like this. So when 0 is here, if I apply the enable, the 0 will be transferred into the output irrespective of its previous level, irrespective of its previous output. In the same way, you maintain 1 here, you maintain 1 here, disable the enable pin, that means make it to logic 0. If the 1 is here, then this pin becomes 0, and this 1 will come here, this pin becomes 1 now, right? Since as long as it is 0, then here 0, here also 0, so it maintains the 0 here. When I apply the enable here, then this 1 and this 1 will come here, 0 will come here, Therefore, this now the Q becomes 1 now. Q becomes 1 now. So the idea is whatever is available here, when the enable is applied, this is transferred into this two. This is transferred into this two. Means the input is delayed here till the time when we apply the enable. When we apply the enable now, right? So it is delayed here. Means it is a delayed flip-flop now. So all the flip-flop, S and flip-flop, there is S and R inputs, right? So we are giving something to S and R inputs, but till applying the clock, that two inputs are preserved there or stored there. So its a corresponding output will be coming out after applying the enable only. Therefore, all the flip-flops are called delay flip-flops, or it will delay certain period, or it stores the value now. It stores means there is no any direct storage like a charging capacitor and discharging capacitor. Aisa nahi here now. So I can conclude something like this. Suppose I am giving here 1 now. I am giving here 1 now. The 1 is stored in this circuit. That 1 will come out here whenever I enable the particular section. Whenever I enable this circuit now. Whenever I enable it. So we can go something like this. Suppose this is one register. This is another register. Third register. Fourth register. So I am giving here some inputs. Right. Suppose 1, 0, 1, 1 is here. Understand? Then these are all the output of these latches. So I have the common enable here. Maybe common enable or individual enable. That what we call as address lines. When we go into the high level, it is called address line. So this enable is there. Suppose if I enable, if I enable, sorry, this latch and this latch, then this 1 will come out, this 0 will come out, this 1 will come out. So this is the basic principle of writing the data and reading the data. Writing the data, reading the data. So all the memory elements consist of basically latches. All your memories. Basically latches. Or flip-flops. Mostly D flip-flops. Mostly D flip-flops. So the memory unit is nothing but an array of registers. Array of registers. So there will be so many D flip-flops. We have to construct the several D flip-flops. Every D flip-flop is a 1-bit storage element. Technically speaking, 1-bit delay element. 1-bit delay element. So whenever we need, we can enable it and we can get back it. That is why the sequential circuit is also called memory circuit. It has a memory element in the sense the circuit has the capability to delay the circuit for some time. Delay the circuit for some time. Then whenever I need, I can tap it out. Or I can latch it out. I can force it out. And suppose there are 100 D flip-flops. 100 D flip-flops. Selecting the proper address, you can take out only the 1 bit. Choosing the proper address. Or there is a group of registers. Suppose here 10 register, here another 10 register, here 10 register. So by properly choosing the particular array, because there itself 10, here 10, here 10, here 10. So you can bring out the 10-bit data from the array of your interest. So the latch is the very fundamental unit which gives you the registers. The registers are the fundamental array which gives you the memory. Digital memory, analog memory is different. Analog memory concept is slightly different. So in digital memory, all the data will be stored there. Stored in the sense it will be delayed. So suppose I am maintaining 1 here, the 1 will come out whenever I apply the enable. If I do not apply the enable, then that 1 will not come out. So whatever was there earlier, that will be maintained, maybe 0 or whatever it is. So by using this kind of latches, you can reset your circuit, you can set your circuits, right? Or you can toggle your circuit output, or you can complement them by 1 input or by 2 inputs. So all those things are possible simply by using this AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate at low level. But if you want to do it by combinational circuits, you need to go for very big circuits. Because in combinational circuit, there is no any feedback right now. But when we go to the asynchronous circuit, there is a feedback. in the combinational circuits. Understand? So therefore, these latches are delaying the inputs. So if it is responding for the level, it is called a latch. If it is responding for our edges, it is called a flip-flop. It is called a flip-flop. So we can write the characteristics table for this one. It is something like that. D in, then this is a Q. If D in is 0, then the 0 will be transferred to Q irrespective of its previous value. When the enable is applied. When the enable is applied. Right. If it is 1 is here, then the 1 will be transferred to Q. 1 will be transferred into Q after applying the clock. Sorry, after applying the enable in the latch. So the 0 will be transferred to Q or 1 will be transferred to 1. Therefore, the Q dash will be its complement. Here 1, here 0. Here 1, here 0. In the controlled environment, the 0 will go there whenever we enable the circuit. The 1 will go there whenever we enable the circuit. So this flip-flop has no any other provision other than just delaying and passing the input into the output. Whereas other flip-flop has a different combination. I can maintain 0 here, or I can make this 0 to 1. If it is a 0, I can make it to 1. If it is 1, I can make it to 0, toggling. So these things are possible. The 4 different operations: set, reset, toggle, correct? No? Set, reset, toggle, no change. These 4 are possible by choosing these values, JK values. Okay, fine. In the same way, there is a T latch. There is a T latch, right? And then there is a JK latch. There is a JK latch. In T latch, if T is here, then your Q, right? Then your Q, and then after applying the Q, I'm writing Q plus now. After applying the Q, I'm applying Q plus. Q plus means after applying the enable. It indicates that after applying the enable. That means delayed. After applying the enable. After applying the enable pin, enable control. So if the T is 0 and this Q is here, then the next after applying the enable also the Q plus will be 0 only. Q plus will be 0 only. If it is 0, then Q is 1, then Q plus also will be 1 only. That means no change. As long as T is 0, the Q will be maintained. Q will be maintained. Right. And when the T is 1, if the Q is 0, this becomes 1. If the T is 1, if Q is 1, this becomes 0. This is what we called complement or toggling. So slightly different operation from the SR and D latch now. Right. That means now we can attain whatever the operation we want to perform. We can choose the proper latches and install it in your system. Design in your system. So what will happen? As long as T is 0, then no change means Q is Q plus. You apply the clock, nothing will change. Even you apply the enable. But whereas T is 1, you can complement them now. So T is in our control, enable also in our control. So you decide what you want at the output, accordingly choose your T and then you apply your enable. Understand? So this is nothing but our T latch. T input and then enable. Then here Q, here Q bar. T latch. In the same way, we proceeded to JK latch. J, K, enable, Q, Q bar, JK latch. JK latch. Just you can Google or you can refer some books to find out the circuits. Simple, same SR latch may. You have to remove this one and connect them together. Then you will get T latch. Right. So we can construct it easily. In JK latch, Q, then Q places its complement now, right? We know this in JK latch, if it is 0, 0, right? If it is 0, 0, this is 0, right? Then the Q plus will be 0. Q plus will be 0 after applying the enable. We will take enable here. Enable. So enable, yes, it is there. Enable is there. So Q plus 0 will go to 0. If it is a 0, 0, this 1 will go to 1. 1 will go to 1. Means no change. No change. That means as long as your JK is 0, nothing will be changed in the Q. If Q is 0, after applying the enable, the next output also will be 0. That means enable does not do anything, like SR flip-flop, SR latch. Then, if it is 1, 0, 1, 0, if it is 0, it becomes 1, 1, 0, if it is 1, it will be 1. That means set. That means set condition. As long as J is 1, right, and K is 0, J is 1 and K is 0, circuit goes to set condition. You know what is a set. So this is also like a SR latch only now. You can replace SR. Correct, no? Both are same here. SR. Right. And then if it is a 0, 1, 0 goes to 0. If it is a 0, 1, if the 1 goes to 1. This is what we call the reset. Means we take the decision of set and reset with respect to Q. With respect to Q. And its a complement is for the Q dash. Its a complement is for the Q dash. Just 1 minute. Hello. Okay. So this is the
sir,
reset.
For 0, 1, Q plus is 0, no, sir?
For
Last
0. Yes, correct. Yes. Yep, you are correct. So 0, 1, the Q plus will be 0. That means it goes to the reset condition. Correct. It goes to the reset condition irrespective of the present output at the Q. Right. Output at the Q. Then if it is 1, 1, this is a 0 becomes 1. If it is 1, 1, if it is 1, it becomes a 0. Right. So this is the toggling or complement. This is the main change those people introduced in this flip-flop, right? So-called different people are claiming, no, with so many things. So this is the main difference. This section differs from the SR latch. SR latch, right? So we are making use of 1, 1 also here for toggling. 1, 1 also here for toggling. So 1, 1, 0, 0, no change, 1, 0 set, 0, 1 reset, 1, 1 complement or toggling. Means whatever is there, it is coming out. Whatever is there is coming out with the complement, right? So these are all the, now enable is there. Throughout this one, enable is there. So that you can control it. We can control the functions. Because this is very much essential in the digital system design. Because as we progress, you are going to see there will be so many subsystems inside the FPGA. We are going to manage everything with the time. So when this should be enabled, when the addition should happen, when filter should work, when the audio codec should enable, when the HDMI should be there. So everything will be inside now. So timing management is important. So we should have control over everything, right? So this is over now. So now we have seen latches, right? Latches now. Next we should convert it into flip-flop, right? That means how the edge trigger will happen. Edge trigger will happen for these things now. That we are going to see now. But why edge triggering, right? Why edge triggering? There are so many advantages in the edge trigger. Okay, that we will see when we talk about the flip-flop conversions. But now our idea is, so we have designed one circuit and then maintained in the stable state and unstable state, right? We have seen what is stable, what is unstable, what is reset, what is set, and then what is a toggling, what is no change and all. And then we incorporated some enable control also. Next we are moving into edge triggering now. Edge triggering, to call it as a flip-flop, right? So that means there will be changes only in the rising edge or in the falling edges. Rising edge and in the falling edges. So when you go for rising edge and falling edge based circuit design, correct. So there is a response only for sudden incident. Sudden incident in the sense, see, suppose this is a circuit. This is the circuit now. Right. Maybe this is my input D in, and this is my enable. This is my Q. This is my Q bar. Right. Suppose my enable is working at like this. It is something like this. Assume this is enable. Right. And our input is assumed that, our input is assumed that there will be no any transition in between these two levels. In between these two levels in the sense, suppose see, I am maintaining here D into 1, right? Then I am applying the enable. I am applying the enable now, right? When I apply the enable, I understood that it means that I am going to perform this operation, this delatch operation in this circuit for the given new input, So input is set here. That means input is allowed to this pin now, or its friend circuits given the input here. Therefore, I am applying the enable at this point now, right? Then that enable will activate this circuit and the corresponding output will be generated. Then I will bring the enable. I applied the 1. I am bringing the enable. I am disabling here now. Again, I will apply the another input, assuming that during this time the new input has come into this line. The new input has come into this line now. Then I am again enabling. Suppose you assume now, suppose during this time I enabled this circuit in order to perform this operation, but as long as the enable pin is 1, if any change happened in the D in will be reflected in the circuits, and is basically the level based trigger, not the edge based trigger. Hello? All of you following me? So what will happen? So I enable the circuit in the sense from this time to this time, I assumed that D in changed here, therefore I am going to enable. First D in changed, then I am applying the enable. So from this time to this time, this input will be maintained at this pin. If any change happens there, then immediately that will affect the circuits because it is the level based triggering. It is a level based triggering in the sense this much time I have to make the circuit on, or you can reduce it now, maybe something like that. But this much time you have to maintain the circuit on. That means you allowed the circuit to respond for the input that is there during the time from here to here now. That means whenever your circuit is on, whatever the change is happening in D in will be reflected into the output or will be propagated into the output, and corresponding output will be generated, right? So to avoid these things, to avoid these conditions, whatever may be the level, the circuit should respond only for the edges. It is something like this. Only for the edges. In the sense, I am taking one D flip-flop here. I'm giving here D in. Then I'm tapping here Q bar. Right. Now I'm introducing something like that. You see the special mark which indicates this is the clock like this. Right? One line and then inside clock. This is the clock. If you do like this, this is just input now. If you put inside, this is the clock now. This is the clock. This is the clock in the sense, now you come for analysis now. Suppose this is the clock. This is the clock now. And this is the input changes. You look here, this is the D in, this is the clock, this is the clock. If you analyze the output, right, if you take your latch, if you take the latch, what happened? There is a change in the input from this time to this time. See, at this time it is 1, then it becomes a 0, again it becomes 1, then it becomes a 0. So till this time there is 1, 1, 2, 3 transitions. 3 transitions. If you feed this one into D latch, your output also will undergo 3 transitions. Do you understand? Because you will undergo 3 transitions, because this is the latch is the level trigger. So during this time to this time, there is a changes 3 transitions in the input. Then output also will be obviously 3 transitions. The output also will be like this, correct? But whereas here also again, there is a from here to here, there is a 0 to 1, then 1 to 0, 0 to 1. The same pattern will be generated in the output in the latch. In the latch. But whereas in the flip-flop, nothing should happen like this. It should happen only for the rising edges, for example. Only for the rising edges. So, only for the rising edges. Means you draw here. This is the Q. So, at this point, when the rising edge is applied, this is 1. Therefore, output will be 1. That output will be maintained till this time. When this rising edge is applied, the input is 0. So, it comes to 0. That's all. That means the circuit will work only for the only for an instant of time. Only for the instant of time when the clock is applied. When the clock is applied, the clock applying is a very, very, very short period. You can say that it is a delta function. Theoretically talking, it is a delta function. Practically, it is a narrow pulse. It is a narrow pulse. Something like this. So when we apply the clock rising edge here, so the output will be changed only at this instant of time. That's all. You can maintain this one for any amount of time. Nothing will happen. That will not be reflected. So that is the advantage of our flip-flop. So if any input change happens here, nothing will affect the response, because the flip-flop will work only for the edges. Maybe for falling edge or maybe for the rising edge. So that advantage we got. So further we moved from controlled latch into flip-flop because to control it not by the enable, because if you allow the circuit to do its function during the period of on, logical level on, if any transition happens, that will be reflected, but we don't want to do it. We want to do it only one instant of time, at an instant of time. Therefore, instead of a logical level, we moved into edges. Because edges obviously will be either rising or falling, that's all, at one instant of time. But levels are for certain amount of time. There is a certain period of time, maybe some microsecond, a nanosecond, or picosecond. But rising edge is a very, very short period. It is something like that. Delta function, the width is tending to 0. So by applying the delta function or by applying the rising edges, it is possible to make the circuit to respond only at an instant of time, at a point of time. Now, right? So therefore, now we can classify the flip-flop and registers, flip-flop and your latches, something like this. Latches and flip-flops. Latches and flip-flops, right? So flip-flop is nothing but again the same register, same memory element. It has the capability to store the data. It has the capability to delay the data. So you can bring it out whenever you wish. That means in the flip-flop, we have to apply the rising or falling edges. In the latch, we need to apply the logic 0 or logic 1 to bring out the data. Therefore, the flip-flops are called memory elements or memory units. So every flip-flop is capable of storing 1 bit. That means the way you want to take out the data, you can take out by properly selecting the inputs and then applying the rising edges or logical level 0. So latch, latch is now not in use in the sense straight away we use flip-flops only in the FPGA, no latches, right? But you can convert them to latches by making the clock as a enable pin now, right? If you go to the resources, you can find more flip-flops in the FPGA rather than the latches, right? So this is the main basic concepts about the latch, flip-flop, and then controlled latches, triggered latches, right? Now we will see some definitions for latches. You can take down now the for latch. For latch, the first point is level triggered. The latches are the level triggered. First one, level triggered. First one is level triggered. Second one is it consists of gates wired to maintain states. Wired to maintain states means stability. To maintain the stability. Gates wired to maintain states. Next, enable controls the operation. Enable controls the operation. Enable controls the operation. And another one important thing is when power is on, continuously checks the input. Continuously checks the input and changes the output if enable equal to 1. If enable equal to 1, right? This is the main difference between, one of the main differences between flip-flop and latch. Continuously, if the power is on, continuously it checks the input. Again, this is the edge triggered. Edge triggered. It also consists of gates only. Gates are wired to maintain the states. Clock controls operation. Clock controls the operation. In behavior wise, clock and enable no difference. All are 1010 only. But the behavior or characteristics of the latch and flip-flop is different. Clock controls the operation, and when power on, continuously checks the inputs. Continuously checks the input, but generates the corresponding output. Generates the corresponding output only when the edge is applied. When the edge is applied. When the edge is applied. When the edge is applied.
Sir.
Therefore, and then here some circuit is there, here some circuit is there. This circuit requires some, maybe 1 microsecond, for example. This circuit requires 1 millisecond, 1 microsecond, 1 millisecond. If you do not control the input reading time, then this input will go there, this input also will go there. It will take a longer time to give you the output. This will take a shorter time to give you the output. If you do not have any control here, then this input will go there. Right. So that input will, second input will go there. That will generate some new output here. Before this section completes and generate the corresponding output now. So your output will be the malfunction. This we will see in the asynchronous circuits. So that means our intention is considering this advantage. That means my input should be applied into the circuit only at an instant of time, whenever I want. Not for a certain duration of time.
Yes.
Suppose in other way, it is something like that. Suppose I am reading, this is my system. I am reading the data serially, maybe D0 to D8. This 8 bit should be read into the system. into the system now, right? In this case, I should not go for clock. I should go for enable only now, because I have to read the data for certain amount of time. Maybe if I start here D0, this is a T1 minus T0 maybe del T. So I have to make the on period del T, because the circuit should be on for enable based system, or else you can go for high frequency system, something like this. Understand, no? That means 8 rising edges I'm applying here. 8 rising edges I'm applying here. So 8 bits will be taken inside if it is a flip-flop. If it is a flip-flop. If it is the latch, you maintain the on period, right, for certain duration, so that your D0 will go inside, D1 will go inside, D2, D3, everything will go inside. Then you switch it off. Then you make it disabled, right? So these things are there. These are all one should choose based on the applications. Right, but the idea is your latch will work for the entire duration of logic 1, but flip-flop will work for only an instant of time. Understand, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So we will stop at this level, because your Rishi Sharma ji asked me to leave you before 5 minutes.